Has Europe got any better? Has Europe gotten any better? Has Europe gotten any better? Says the people around the world. But does the war help the economy? Does it help us to solve the problems? And one says no, and most of some says yes. The war's raging in Europe. The war's raging almost in every front line. We know what Europe's at war, and in Africa too. Does it get any better? Does it get any better? Does it get any better? Will ever people there use help? The British use the troops around their colonies. But is Asia even getting better while it's very far from the war? Is it better that if we just stay away from the war? Is Asia getting any better? Is Asia getting any better? We'll see what happens if there's no war in Asia until one nation steps into the doorstep, and then they... No, it did not end there. War still raging in Asia as Japan invading almost the whole entire of Southeast Asia and South Asia. Japan's goal is to free the colonies by promising the independence for the natives in the islands and the mosques. Japan promised independence for the Philippines, as for India, as for Malaysia, Singapore, and all the countries out there, including the Dutch East Indies. The Japanese promised independence and install exile governments, which is the ideology of fascism, as Japan's winning in Southeast Asia. This is what happens. As wars losing and most of the colonial powers are surrounded by the Japanese influence, and this is the decline of the British Empire and other European powers. As Burma is being invaded by the Japanese, and also China is at war with Japan, with a lots of massacres and killings there. And in New Guinea, Japanese continues to fight against the Dutch troops and British, Australian, American troops out there, and other troops, including volunteers and corpses out there. They're at war in New Guinea with so many trees, so many ambushes, and dangerous wars. But war still raging. This is not over. Australian troops do not want wars, but they have to end it. Other British high commanding officers are also here, present in India or the British Raj. There are rumours about crocodiles eating Japanese soldiers in Burma. This was a very scary history for the Japanese soldiers who suffered the most. But American troops later arrived there and there will happen to be a counter-attack, which is the goal to win against the Japanese. That is a win-win for the Allies, as the Dutch and other allies in Papua began to fight back against the Japanese, and it was a successful mission, and it was a successful counter-attack, as well in Papua is winning for the Allies, and in Burma and other territories out there, including China, as the British also managed to push back the Japanese in Burma. In Europe was decreasing, and which that means the Germans are losing to the Allies in Europe, which is a good news for the Allies. And once this was taken over in Europe, the Allies will now attack almost the whole entire occupation by Japan in Asia, which means that the Allies will have to fight back against the Japanese, and theories confirm that the Germans will be defeated first. Now that the war is over, a nuclear bomb dropped in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, which caused the end of the World War II. But did it really end? There is something going on with an upcoming events. That will be the Cold War, and the war is cold. The war is nothing but decolonization, the failure of countries controlling them, democracy, independence, and freedom for most of the countries. This caused every country to be prepared, and the Brits are losing their colonies as well, as requesting the autonomy, and the British have to promise India for independence, and have to promise all the countries out there for independence, as independence increasing in Asia, Southeast Asia and others out there. The empires, almost the whole empires, cannot afford to pay the colonies and fees and out there. So what that means, colonial empires are starting to decline with demands and other things.